proper live now.
Oh no! We're properly live.
We're that real kind of live.
I thought we were dead.
Nope. We are both dead and alive at the same time because, as promised, I'm starting off the stream as a skeleton. Hello, everyone.
And I will start the stream off as a hyena in solidarity.
We're all going to wear uncomfortable masks while we draw this fabulous prompt.
Uncomfortable, my butt. This thing is nice. Soft. Got it from a quality vendor.
Oh, mine is uncomfortable.
I know.
It's from a quality myself, who has no experience in cosplay whatsoever.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I can't breathe.
And other things of all ages and types and persuasions. I could have phrased that way better. Break out your menacing kanji. And get some auras up in your aura, because we are JoJoing today.
I like how I can't even put the glasses in my ears. I just have to shove them into the band of the mask.
Note to self, when you become a skeleton, acquire ears.
If skeleton, get ears, indeed. And Bottled C has, ironically, somewhat, just redeemed a brief skeleton award, which is brand new.
Oh, what does it do?
I will allow me to become a skeleton at any time if someone donates the sufficient amount of extra bones.
Whoa. Sufficient extra bones.
I like that I can't even glasses with this. Says Lava Bees. Mood. All right. So if you haven't already been told from the title of the stream, we are going to be doing a fantastic prompt today. We are going to be drawing our JoJo stands. Finally, this is something we wanted to do for a while.
Kyle has been excited for this literally since we started doing this show.
It is very true. I just wanted an excuse, any excuse to do this.
Muda, friend.
Because it's too good and too.
It's frankly, too on brand for you.
Yeah, and it's too marketable to just do. I need a reason.
Yeah.
But the slightest of reasons happened, and thus spoke Rohan Kishibe, a JoJo spin-off just released on Netflix.
Indeed.
And it's really good, and it's an excuse. So, that's what we're going with today.
Oh, yeah.
So, here's a question. Are we going to draw ourselves or just the stands?
I was waiting to see what you did, and then I was going to follow suit.
Oh, I kind of want to draw at least a version of myself.
Fair. I am not as familiar with the art style as I ought to be, so I'll probably need a lot more reference.
That is okay. I do have some reference to pull up.
Excellent. I do, however, know what my stand will be because I've thought long and hard about this question.
Let's get rid of that. And so, Alan has not actually partaken in much a JoJo. So I think it would be good to start off by explaining what this spin-off is. So it stars Rohan Kishibe, who is a side character from Part 4 of JoJo.
Okay.
You don't really need to know who he is, except that he is a author insert character who is an eccentric mangaka.
Oh, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah. The series itself is sort of a spin-off horror anthology about this character's adventures finding inspiration for his manga.
Gotcha. Going on a bizarre adventure, one might say?
Yes. Several, in fact. Many of you are probably familiar with the term stand and like a little bit of the JoJo lore, but not a lot of that comes into play. The main character of the spin-off, Rohan, does have a stand. Try to remember what it's called now. Heaven's Door. There we go. It basically allows him to turn people into books and read their story and write in his own details.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's pretty great.
It's like a multi-purpose Death Note.
Pretty much. One of his signature moves, so to speak, in the part he's in is to simply when he finds the bad guy, he activates it and simply writes "will not harm Rohan" into the book, and then they become bound to do that. But he only uses that from time to time in the show. Most of the stuff he encounters in the spin-off is other miscellaneous supernatural events that aren't necessarily connected to stands or vampires at all.
Ah, yes, using magic breathing to defeat vampires until they teach ghosts how to do it.
So I need to draw that. Look at me drawing a sketch layer for some reason.
Look at you drawing a sketch layer because it's a good practice. Because you are a wise and clever boy.
Silly me. So some other things. Lava B says, I've done light designing of my stand, naming it Bad Romance. Oh, that's good.
Nice, nice.
Right. So this is a decent Jojo me, I believe. Let's just get that properly line worked in there. I don't think I have time to do 2 JoJo's. I'll do one for the stand itself, but the me is probably just going to be a standard portrait.
Very standard. Not full of lines at all.
Speaking of full of lines, it's probably because of the mask. I have done my skeleton bit for a while, but to seriously draw, I can't actually keep it on that long, especially because it's hard to breathe. Whew. I'll put that back on again, of course, if anyone else triggers the condition, donates the appropriate amount of extra bones.
I, on the other hand, will remain a hyena for now. Mwahaha, ha 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 ha.
Mwaha.
It is a fine and comfy mask.
Let's see. Should I share the name of my stand? I kind of want to wait until I actually draw
Fair
it.
enough. I'm going to guess that it's based off of either a Dessa or an Amanda Palmer song.
Good calls, but actually
Or
no.
a Jason Webley one.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. Forgot the crucial Jason Webley element.
Although I'm sure there are some great options I could pull for either of those.
Yes.
But I've had my Jason Webley stand.
Moments in the sun.
Oh no, I've had my Jason Webley stand for a while.
I see.
Are you about to look up Jason Webley song titles and try and make some guesses?
No, I am about to look up your Twitch channel so I can read the chat.
Haha, you know what? I should probably, maybe this will help if I do that there and then put this, no, make big. Well, okay, sure, we'll just look at that actual webpage then. There's that. Well, I don't need it anymore. I've got my sketch.
Oh, look at that. I can see the chat now.
We need to think of some solutions to our setup here.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I didn't know Adam Driver was in Devil May Cry.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Adam Driver, doesn't he?
He looks a lot like Adam Driver. Also, I apparently need to get on this side if I want to be on your camera right now. No.
We'll figure something out. I have some ideas now.
Oh, now you've got ideas. We're putting ideas. Actually, that allows me to see the chat much better too.
Excellent.
Okay.
Love Bees also says, yeah, I hit my Genkai Da wearing fancy masks fast too, because I guess air and vision is important.
What good is oxygen?
Actually, I do need the reference up again. Yeah, I just need to get a look at those thick ol' eyelashes.
Big ol' eyelashes.
So, how was your week, Alan, friend?
Interesting. At least it started out that way.
Oh, yeah.
As some of you are aware, we did not have a stream last Saturday. That is partially because I was in a car crash. I'm fine. The mask is not hiding a terrible deformity, a la Phantom of the Opera. But it was extremely scary, and definitely was cause to not stream that day.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're okay.
Me too. Although apparently I looked it up out of morbid curiosity, and statistically only about 0.75% of car accidents are fatal.
Oh, Pluddle2 says, I feel like my 5,000 bones were a bit wasted because I was always already planning on being a skeleton, or was I not a skeleton long enough? This is actual valid information that I require.
We need bone data.
I need bone data.
Bone data.
Many people wanted things that costed more bones.
Cash in those bones. Look at this man. Look at this man and the hatching on his lip.
Oh.
Okay,
Penguin. Yeah. Penguin has redeemed the other new thing, which is charging my devil trigger, which is why I have a picture of V up there. I was trying to find a good image of him reading random poetry for the thing. Penguin is testing out the devil trigger bone tradition, which will require me to read at least a stanza of William Blake's poetry,
nice.
as is V.
Nice.
O Rose, thou art sick. The invisible worm that flies in the night, in the howling storm, has found out thy bed of crimson joy, and his dark secret love does thy life destroy.
I may have to give this video game series a chance.
Lava Bees knows who V is.
Oh, Lava Bees, I'm sure knows who V is. I would be surprised if it were otherwise.
Well, is my devil attack? My devil attack is charged. It certainly restored some of the meter. It actually it takes a little bit of charging in order to go devil trigger.
Bang bang bang.
And of course, I need someone to pull my devil trigger, of course, but I'm not sure any of you quite like me that way.
I'm trying to determine if those eyes are blue or green. They really are kind of both.
I like them. An extra bones tier to pull my devil trigger. 10k bones, activate devil trigger.
I don't know if that's allowed on Twitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's allowed on Twitch. OnlyFans, maybe.
Are those little shovel earrings he's got there?
No, they are pen nibs. This is the titular Rohan
That
Kishibe.
makes sense. I'm liking the whole like Yu-Gi-Oh situation his hair's got going.
Plattlecy says, I'm confused. Is devil trigger a euphemism? In this case, yes. It's just... Okay, so the song Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 5, it's like, the whole riff is bang, 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 pull my devil trigger, and it's a cute sounding girl saying that. And, I take it as a euphemism. I don't know about you.
I just assumed it was like some sort of like super meter within game.
It is a super meter.
Okay,
Penguin's like, oh my god. So no, we merely charge the devil trigger here on public stream. Pulling it becomes problematic.
My personal experience with Devil May Cry is watching about 10 minutes of Kyle playing it.
At some point, I do need to do a good old Bloody Palace marathon stream. That'll be fun.
And maybe at some point, I also will stream a game. Maybe.
You should.
I've reinstalled Steam, so I have access to games I could technically stream.
I like how just adding the big old bottom lip makes it go away from being like a Kyle and just makes it a JoJo immediately.
Nope.
I'm just gonna get rid of this sketch layer because it's
Can't be a
throwing me
JoJo if you don't have smoochable lips.
off. If your face has not been chiseled out of marble, you are not a JoJo.
If you don't look like a model. Hello, Ionoki.
Hi, Ironoki. Welcome.
Welcome to the Jojanine.
We are doing a JoJo.
All the JoJos. We are drawing every character from every JoJo.
Oh God, no! Don't.
We'll be here for
Don't
months.
say that. They'll make us do it.
Let's not actually do that.
Aw. Talking about the kissable lips, I'm assuming C says that Alan was born JoJo.
You can't tell behind this big cartoon chomp grin. I declare no evidence. What is the prompt and why is it JoJo? The prompt is JoJo because there is a spin-off series that has debuted. So the Skeleton King has deemed it an appropriate time to JoJo.
To finally do the JoJo.
He has been wanting to do this prompt literally since we started this show, so.
Yeah.
One might say that the rest of the Kyle cast has been leading up to tonight.
I am, in
It's all
fact,
downhill
very
from here,
excited
folks.
we can finally do a good old Joj.
To do the JoJo justice. The Joe justice. The Mojo JoJo. The Jojanine.
Oh! Thank you for subscribing! Did you hear the scream? Did the scream come loud? I don't have my volume up, so I can't tell.
It's scram.
Yes, there was a scream. Thank you very much.
The goat. He screams like a man.
Thank you for subscribing, Kimmy. Thank you so much.
He is so tired. He is so tired all the time.
Oh my god, I am so excited to finally draw myself as a Joj. Actually, I need to give it some kind of pose, otherwise it's just not. It's just not the same.
You gotta be posing.
I just gotta draw quick
It's just
in
not
that
a
case.
Joj if you're not posing.
Let's see, what's the man, I don't want to do a hand. I don't want to do a hand, Alan.
You might have to. You might have to. I might make you. I might bully you into it.
There's actually a solution to this. Sort of.
Is the solution draw a hand?
No. But yes. I don't know if my usual hosters... Oh, Tia hosted a little while ago. Thank you for hosting, Tia. I changed... I figured out how to change the sound effects. Well, I always knew how to change the sound effects. I just made some custom sound effects that I'm proud of.
Yay. I support.
Oh man, I'm so glad to finally draw JoJo. You guys don't even know.
You are overjoyed.
I am, in
That's
fact...
a comic.
That's a comic
By our friend Jer.
by our friend Jer that you should read. This might just become my Witch Sona pose. I'll try and make it a little JoJo year.
A little Jojier. A little Joji fruits.
Yeah. That's a good. That seems like a good pose.
And then Ionoki linked overjoyed the webcomic that you should read.
Thank you for linking the comic that everyone should read.
Support our friends' work.
I need to think of how I'm gonna do the outfit too. Oh
Yeah.
man, is this gonna turn into Kyle just draws himself as a JoJo and forgets to draw his stand?
That's okay, because then my out is that I can just draw the stand and forget about the Joj.
K Penguin says, Lamau, I opened the stream on my phone while it was open on my laptop, and then Alan went, ooh, so I heard it in stereo duet.
Stereo, ooh.
Aranoki also says, can I just say I adore this moment with a well-drawn head and stick figure body?
It is a good moment. I must agree. I must concur. Okay, I'm tired of being a hyena. Beep, it's me. Also, I wanted some water. Oops. Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry. I have large knees.
And I have a large chair.
I am a long leggy boy.
That's a danger I had to unlearn in physical media. I would draw a nice head, then try and draw a body, and what the body needs to be will never match what the head already is, and I'm doomed. That's legit.
I'm liking your bone tie here.
Thank you.
Getting some Dr. Fossier vibes. He's got friends on the other side.
Oh, I almost forgot. I need big old tire shoulders.
Is that a JoJo requirement?
It's a part 3 requirement. It was a big thing for a particular time, but sort of stopped.
Would you say part 3 was your favorite part?
No, part 5 is my favorite part for sure. Part 5 is the. Well, let's see if I can summarize these all well.
Yes.
Part 1 is Jojo-vania. It's just Castlevania, but Jojo. Part 2 is Indiana Jones. Indiana Joge. Or as Jello Apocalypse would put it, Indiana Joge and the Friendliest Nazi. If Kyle was a JoJo, he would be a Kainu? I don't get it.
Because instead of Johann Joestar, it's Kyle Newbridge.
Oh, that's legit.
So part 3.
Right. Part 3 is the actual globetrotting bizarre adventure with punching ghosts.
Okay.
So it's the one a lot of people know the most. That's the one with where Jotaro stars.
Okay, he's the one with the hat, right?
Yeah, the infamous hat guy. The 15-year-old that looks like a 32-year-old bodybuilder.
Yes. Although I hear if you remove most of his facial lines, he does in fact look like a teenager.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yare daze. So part 4, I feel is when the show actually, well, when the story really starts becoming its own. It's actually a small town murder mystery. That's when it really starts just stops giving a shit about anything that traditional shonen manga is supposed to be.
You know what? I just want to write a murder mystery now, so I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm. And it's no longer globetrotting. It's in this weird Twin Peaks style town where everyone has a punchy ghost. Yeah. Jotaro. K-Penguin says Jotaro seemed like a blander character for me, so I got kind of bored with the globetrotting. That's 100% legit. I do think he is in fact the weakest character.
The weakest Joge.
The weakest protagonist. He sort of exists in a cool way to set up fights, but the fights hadn't gotten cool enough yet to really make that a justifiable thing.
Gotcha.
That's actually not enough. Well, whatever.
More lines.
More lines.
More lines. More lines.
So part 4 is a small town murder mystery. It also has its flaws, but I'd say it's probably when I would start telling people the series gets good. Oh yeah, K-Penguin says, I did like his bluff scene at poker though. The poker episode is the best episode of part 3. It simply is. In fact, if you don't watch any of JoJo, watch the poker episode. Okay. It's so good.
Alright.
I can summarize it in one way that is not spoilery, is that Jotaro's Intimidate score on his D&D character sheet is so high he can use it as a bluff score.
Nice.
So yeah, it's very good. But yeah, part 4 starts to get good. I'd say the final confrontation is a bit long, and maybe doesn't use as much of its potential. For reference, if you remember Jojo or Jello Apocalypse's
his complaints about Killer Queen.
Yeah. Some fights go on way too long and make me want to die. Yeah, it's that's a valid criticism of that fight.
Fair.
Although the characters are very cool. Actually, one of the reasons why I like part 4 so much is it's like Josuke, the main the Joge of that one is sort of where the Joges stop becoming overpowered.
Gotcha.
And his ability is really cool in that, and one of my favorite things is that he is a jank healer. He heals people. His stance power is to heal people, heal things, fix things, which is of course activated by him punching it. So he punches people better, and it takes a while for him to be able to do it perfectly. So he tends to punch things to heal them in like kind of fucked up ways. One of the first things he does is he punches like a serial killer into a rock and heals them together, so the serial killer is just like fused into this rock for the rest of his life. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, I never actually reached this point in the game before it fizzled out. But one of the D&D campaigns I was in, my monk character Taret, she was set to learn what would have been healing punches.
Haha.
Which I think I would have like kind of spun story-wise as like very casual amateur chiropractic. It's like, oh, you seem to be injured. Bam! Your spine better now? Yeah, you punched my spine back into alignment somehow.
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't want to spend... That was an accident. I don't want to spend all of my time here just drawing myself as a Joge, so I'm just gonna mess with the composition a bit.
Healing violence.
Oh.
Somehow that seems like a Homer line. Marge, you just need to embrace the power of healing violence.
I violenced your spine back to health. But part 5 is where it goes from small town murder mystery to mafia crime drama.
Oh, that's the one with the guy with the jet turbine hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jet turbine hair. I like to look at it as revolver hair. I am so surprised he never actually shoots bullets out of it during the part.
I feel like that sums up JoJo really well. The kind of show where a guy shows up and you're pretty sure his hair shoots bullets, and you read it out that it doesn't.
Especially because there is actually a guy who has a whole bullet stand, who is also one of my favorite like side characters in JoJo, Guido Mista, and his stand, the Sex Pistols.
Nice. Pastry hair.
Okay, Penguin always saw Giorno's hair as pastry hair, and that's also legit. It's quite the haircut. It does sort of like twist up in the back like a cinnamon twist donut. And does not the twist doesn't really have a beginning or end. It just sort of links into itself. It's pretty great.
Geometrically impossible hair. I love it.
But legit, that part is thrilling, edge of the seat. Like, it's, don't get me wrong, it's got the same zaniness, but it like, I was dying to watch every episode as it came out, all the way through.
Nice.
So like, and it's one of those. It's kind of like Doctor Who. I don't really think you super need to watch the other parts.
Okay.
Like there are some like instances you like a character might come up, but like most of it I think is explained pretty well.
Okay.
And I just think it's a solid story on its own.
You don't need to know which one is Doctor Who.
Yeah, pretty much. Bucciarati is best mom, yes. Okay, Penguins, skip part 4 to go to part 5. I didn't get to finishing it, though. That's legit. Yeah, there's especially part 4. Although I like part 4, you don't really need to know. Let's see. So what are the things you need to know? Most of you know who Dio is. the Jojen Part 5 is actually Dio's biological son, so that's a thing to know. And a guy from Part 3 comes back, and that's actually kind of a cool big moment, but you don't really need to know who he is. It was cool for us who knew. He was also the least interesting character who Araki clearly thought was the most interesting character.
Uh-oh. Always sad when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Pulling the riff. Let's see. From Part 3, yep. A character from Part 3 comes back near the end, and it's cool. There's also a character from Part 4 who's there in the beginning, but he doesn't stick around, and it's not a big deal. I am sorry if I spoiled something, Gay Penguin. That'll have to do for now. I need to actually get to drawing the stand, which I've been excited about.
Yes. Do it. Do it now.
I'm doing it, jeez.
Get it.
Alright, so, Lava Bees, as we've had a discussion on D. Gray Man, might recognize some of the influences on this, because it is my design was definitely inspired by, one of Cross Marion's, abilities in D. Gray Man, which is the Grave of Maria, who is this, like, dead woman that used to be one of the superheroes from D. Gray Man, for lack of a better word. And anyways, he reanimated her corpse and uses her ability as one of his own. And I always thought that was heckin' cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he just carries the fucking coffin around with him. And I always thought that was heckin' rad. And metal as fuck. Anyways, that's some of what my design is inspired from, but obviously it's going to be my own take. We mentioned earlier that the name of the stand is based on one of the songs from my favorite musician, Jason Webley.
Mm-hmm.
And the stand is called Meet Your Bride.
Mm-hmm. It's all coming together.
Just gonna... I'll add in the detail lines.
Oh,
later.
yeah. It's all coming together. I wonder if I should be marking myself somewhere on my Patrick Warburton impression.
Speaking of Patrick Warburton, did you see that Tales of the Borderlands is coming to Switch?
No.
Well, Tales from the Borderlands is coming to Switch, and...
Which number is that?
It is not a number, and that's why I'm excited about it, because it was a Telltale game set in the Borderlands universe. You don't need to actually play any of Borderlands to get it, and it's really good.
And Patrick Warburton is in it, apparently.
Patrick Warburton is a great character in it.
Okay. I am not super familiar with Borderlands.
You don't... neither was I when I played it. I fucking loved it. I'd actually do super recommend that.
Is Ellie in it?
Probably? I think
Yay,
so.
Okay.
It was easily my... I mean, like, I didn't really... I played... No, at this point I've played a little bit of all the Borderlands. It's the only one I like. It's Tales from the Borderlands. It's my favorite Telltale thing. That's what I was going to say.
Gotcha. Well, they are a dead company now, so...
That's true. They were prolific while they were alive, though.
Yes.
Oh, have a good lurk.
Pasta.
Blah, blah, blah. Have a good lurk, Shiny Zubats. Loopy Fritz, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Loopy Fritz has also played it. I think we played it alongside each other for the most part. Like, not in person, but like...
Say my favorite Telltale games were the Sam and Max ones.
Ooh.
They were very good. I would recommend them. Especially if you like humorous point and clicks. Skeleton. You need to look up bone references.
Of course I do. Rib cages are hard, dude.
Okay, they're just made of ribs.
Yeah, they're made of a lot of particular ribs.
Yeah, you just go down to the rib store, you order some ribs.
Now I want barbecue ribs. You see what you've done to me.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Lava Beast says, I had a D&D campaign that was Fate-esque in that there was a human and a bonded legendary spirit entity, and that mean meant pairs of PCs worked together. The friend of mine and I got paired with was also a JoJo fan, and naturally we were about to make our character duo stand user as fuck. Oh, that sounds so fun. I'd love a campaign like that. I mean, a friend of mine did a Fate style tabletop game once and was telling me stories about it, and it sounded great. I wasn't like really into Fate at the time. I am now like bemusedly into Fate. I don't want to be into Fate, but I am.
You're afraid all the weebs will call you a weeb?
Nah. It's not. A lot of Fate is not good.
Fair.
It's sort of like being into Yu-Gi-Oh. It doesn't. You don't have good taste
man,
most.
But how could you reject the series that has Chad Masterson?
I have actually forgotten his name now, but I want to correct you. However, I will correct you and say that it's not Chaz whatever his last name is. It's the Chaz. You need to refer to him as the Chaz.
Oh boy. My grandpa's deck has no bad cards.
I actually had a great idea when what was it? Fortnite first started getting big, that if I had any resources of a game design studio behind me, how I would have done my take on the whole battle royale genre thing. And that is actually make it Fate style, where it's multiple teams of two. One person plays a legendary fighty spirit, and the other one plays like a support, and they have to work together to beat the others. And I think that would be really cool.
I concur. That sounds neat. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Okay, Loopy Fritz is right. It was our take. I made it up with Loopy Fritz.
Dodging credit. How dare you?
I'm just not used to Loopy Fritz actually like being in chat on these streams. I'm glad you made it, buddy.
It is actually really nice. It's kind of refreshing. You can probably hear us from where he's stationed.
Probably. I'm not going to draw all the ribs because that would be a heckin' lot. I'm going to draw some ribs, though.
Yes. Draw as many ribs as you feel comfortable with. As many ribs as you feel comfortable having.
I really only need 4 ribs. Man, now here's something I don't particularly have down, is what is the stand's actual ability? I never actually thought that far ahead. I just had the design and the name.
Which is funny, because the reverse is true for me. Like, I know what it does and what it's named for, but the design, I was like, I'll figure it out as I go.
Let's see. So, it kind of reminds me of what my quirk would be in My Hero Academia. I don't know if you... did you ever watch that?
I've seen the first, 4 or 5 episodes, yes.
Right. My quirk would be to make anyone around me feel the same emotions I'm feeling. Like reverse empathy. Which I would use primarily to make people start crying unspeakably. Love B says, speaking of ribs, I'm making Kyle draw ribs. Yeah, but you're paying me for that one, so I have no complaints about that. By the way, I'm open for commissions. And if you happen to be a Twitch streamer yourself, I have a special line of emotes for February that's only open for the rest of the month. What if its attack causes the victim to relive their trauma? Oh yeah, that would suck. Oh man, okay, going on the name of... Well, okay, so one of the things I've always found funny about stands is, theoretically they're supposed to reflect the nature of the wielder, and it's just like a manifestation of their fighting spirit, right? I don't think it actually does. It normally just fits whatever it has a thing based on its rock band name. And so I think I've got what power Meet Your Bride would be, and that is whoever sees it transforms into the exact image of whoever the love of their life would be. And I don't really know what it does past that.
I mean, that's got utility.
Mm-hmm. I definitely don't think it's very much of a combat stand. It's much more of a support stand. Can probably be used to like convince people of things. It's got like a charm effect for sure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, I'm making good time. I got like 9 minutes. Let's get in some flats. While I can. I can't. There we go. I'm like, what's the JoJo theme?
I don't know. That's as close as I've ever heard.
But yeah, the actual song "Meet Your Bride" is very much like it very much describes like meeting the love of your life as some kind of threat.
How appropriate.
I definitely like a sort of silver and gold color scheme, more like an iron and gold.
With more time, I could see it being kind of like one of those corpses they reserve for important Catholics, where they just do them up in a bunch of gold and jewelry and things. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Kind of. Whoops. OMG, the replics? Oh, saints who die and their body parts become holy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Relics, yes. Relica? I don't know, I'm not Catholic.
I think Kimmy's trying very hard. There we go.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah. She's trying very, very hard to say it right. Just keep going. Keep going, Kimmy. I'm sure the comment frequency is helping out the algorithms or whatever. Relics and reliquaries.
Yes.
I don't see you cheated.
Skeleton-bones.
Frankly, I should be surprised I'm wearing a shirt at all. Given JoJo's,
Oh, you mean like your stand user?
Yeah.
I thought you meant about you yourself, and I was like, I've seen you shirtless once for like 2 seconds.
We became true brothers that day. But no, yeah, just JoJo-wise. Well, I have added in the like sort of rib cuts in the suit. Because like no one in JoJo is wearing a full shirt.
Like that one boy who was forced to dress as a cheese.
Well, the fact that they made this spin-off of Rohan makes me wonder if they're going to animate the one of the other spin-offs of that guy whose name Fudo? I think his name's Fudo. I hope they do that as well, because he was a really interesting character, and he got cut out primarily from balance reasons, because there wasn't, like, his stand power was kind of overpowered, and there wasn't a lot of counterplay you could do against it.
Gotcha.
So he just sort of, like, left the story. Originally, he was going to come back and fight the main cast, but Araki didn't want to do that because that would have been sad. And apparently he was going through a rough time in his life and didn't want to do that. And I get that.
Fair.
And I that was actually my favorite character of that cast until he got cut. So that was
They replaced his outfit with kicking him out of the series.
Yeah. I'm gonna need these lines. I'm just gonna.
It ain't a Jojo if you don't have lines.
Yeah, his ability was pretty much his stand had a killer virus in its knuckles. Oh. And so when it punched, it would...
So it could punch disease into people.
Yeah, it could punch disease into people. But, like, it made it into, like, one encounter, and then suddenly it was like, well, we solved it once, and now we don't really know what else to do with it. Yeah, it was a highly corrosive killer virus. This is a quick screen tone trick for any of you all comic artists. So just
excellent.
Make a bunch of lines and then cut them out however you want.
I will learn.
Oh yeah, and the Loopy Fritz points out the virus was also indiscriminate, so he couldn't easily be teamed up with either.
Aww.
So yeah, there wasn't a lot enemies could do about it. There wasn't a lot he could counterplay off of everyone else with. So he just got kind of written out. And that was a shame, because again, I thought he was cool. Well, not only that, but I believe in the one encounter he was in, didn't Giorno, like, Jojo bullshit, synthesize a antidote for it or something? I don't remember. Something like that. And it sort of, like, it also kind of nullified that side of things too. But point is, like, trouble writing him into encounters, and that makes sense. I still kind of wish he hadn't been written out, but you know, that's just me.
Yeah.
Whoops. Played the makeup on a little too thick there. Yeah, he makes, as Loopy Fritz says, he makes sense as the enforcer character, but yeah, not much for exciting interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Which I also get, because one of the best parts about Part 5 is, like, its, like, fight matchup. Like, the way the powers play off of each other is, like, the best of that I think I have ever seen. Each encounter, it's part of what had me on my seat, is each encounter is just so unique and cool. It is at no point does it become who punches better. It is always like, okay, how do I use my obscure set of powers against this obscure set of powers to achieve victory?
Mm-hmm. What's fun?
I think my favorite encounter in Part 5 is first off, it's on a train. It is a guy with sapient bullets, which is the Sex Pistols guy I mentioned earlier, and a guy who can make interdimensional zippers, versus a guy who rapidly ages up everyone in a certain radius, and a guy who has a, like, heat-seeking fishing pole that seeks the heart of his target. And, like, it's just wild. It is so fucking wild and great. Why is that not? Oh, that's because I don't have the right thing. Oh yeah, and it ages up based on heat. The age up thing. So like the warmer a person's body is, the faster they'll age up. So like there's this whole bit with ice cubes where they're trying to keep themselves cool so they don't immediately turn into raisins. It's really cool. Like, and the bad guys have their own character arcs throughout the fight. It's great.
Nice.
It's another one of those things that, like, if you don't watch anything else of JoJo, like, watch that fight. It's good. Alright, I'm about at the end of my time. Probably render this in post at some point.
Nice.
It's actually, it's gonna, whoop, not all those, I want all these. Find selected layer. Yeah. Just kind of want to get the make this a proper composition before I sign off.
Yes. Mechanical skeleton.
Oh, and one other thing I can do real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, go for it.
It's not JoJo without a weird aura. Obvious says aura brush. Aura brush.
Hey. Important.
Okay, that's not good. That'll just have to do. Then, of course.
Of course. Yes.
Come on, just let me steal it, Google.
Just let him.
Just let me steal it, Google. Don't make me do anything. I just want it. I just copy image. Just let me do that. Just let me do that, Google. Really, Google? Really, Google? Really, Google?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was a good punchline, though.
It was a good punchline.
You know, for whenever the punchline isn't death.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'm
You're
sorry.
working with it?
I'm sorry. Your time's getting delayed, Alan.
That is okay. As we've established, I will be making this up as I go. So, I'm sorry I've been so quiet this stream.
Oh no, it's fine.
Just I don't know. I don't seem to have as much to talk about.
I know my kanji isn't good. You're gonna have to deal with that because I'm not good at kanji.
Oh, you baka gaijin.
What? I know exactly one phrase in Japanese, and it's Tokyo Abachan wo tabe ni ikimasu.
What's that mean?
I'm pretty sure it's I'm going to Tokyo to eat babies.
All right then. I mean, you know, those Tokyo babies, they're high in protein.
I mean, they're kind of unrelated statements.
Protein.
Well, I mean, I am going there to eat babies, but it's more of a coincidental thing.
It's more of a Saturn devouring his son thing.
Yeah.
I wonder how you pronounce that.
Oh, I think it's like Go or something like that.
Alright then. Go, 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 go.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the Japanese equivalent of ch.
Oh, that might be Ge then.
Oh, maybe.
There's a series called Ge no Kitaro. Which is, could basically just be very, very roughly translated to Kitaro's creepy fun time, I guess. I mean, Noah's possessive, Kitaro's the main character, and Ge is just kind of like the generic spooky sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, they're kind of
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I'm digging it.
That's gonna have to do for now.
Ain't bad. I respect it. I respect what you've done with it. It's real good, Fred.
I'm definitely gonna have to, in post I'll render it up a bit. I'll just get a little good old Instagram sized.
Do it for the gram.
Yeah, a little Instagram crop here. Bam. Okay. I'll make a new canvas. Do you have preferred size?
Somewhere between small and large.
I'll just do that.
Okay.
Oh, real quick, Loopy Fritz, before we switch over, did redeem a Charger Devil Trigger thing.
Right.
So we've got another Blake poem to read. Just gonna.
And then once you finish your Blake poem, looks like Love Bees has an excellent question for you.
Ooh. The Crystal Cabinet. The maiden caught me in the wild, where I was dancing merrily. She put me into her cabinet, and locked me up with a golden key. The cabinet is formed of gold and pearl and crystal shining bright, and within it opens into a world, and a little lovely moony night. Boom. Okay.
Go, 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 go.
That was fun. Oh, and I guess we should read the... how'd you add that outline that updates around the edge even after you cut the image up? There is a particular tool on the right-hand side that's kind of covered up by the chat right now, but effect options. There's border effect, tone, and layer color. I use those all a lot for a lot of drafting things, and also for making outlines that stick around and do things. Aranoki says, "What does a brief skeleton do? I'm about to get one. I'll put on a skeleton mask until I'm tired of wearing the skeleton mask." That's what that one is.
And Loopy Fritz makes a good point that it seems like an appropriate restriction to summoning your stand, reading some poetry first.
That would be a good one. I need to
I can only summon my stand when I read some poetry.
And Irenoki says, "Sold!" And I put on the skeleton mask once more.
Oh, I love it, because you're transitioning from Photoshop. Well, as a very happy
post-Photoshop user?
Clip Studio user myself, I can definitely help you out. Anyway, I am starting out with the hyena mask, which is my current equivalent to Kyle's skeleton mask. Mostly just for funsies. Anyway, I'm going to start getting reference images and drawing, and a brief skeleton has been redeemed. I see you are veiled. Alright, anyway.
In progress.
Alright, the mouse sensitivity, let me, every time.
One day I'll bring you over to my side of having just an absolutely ridiculous, speedster mouse sensitivity.
Definitely won't. Let's see.
I'm officially a skeleton.
You are. Let's see. Okay. So, grabbing some logos.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Jojo spin-off. I'm gonna turn on the light, by the way. If you don't
That sounds great. Please do.
It got darker outside faster than expected.
It really did.
The Jojo spin-off is quite good. Pretty well standalone. I liked it a lot. There's some real nice, awful Japanese horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one particular scene that I'm still like, I think back and I'm just like, ew. Which I think is a sign of good horror. Not as many jump scares, much more psychological.
Speaking of good horror, I've been playing a lot of Little Nightmares 2 recently.
Ooh, tell me more.
It is much scarier than the first one.
Haha.
Substantially.
I am unfamiliar with the series.
Ah, well, perhaps you should familiarize yourself with it. It is available for the Nintendo Switch, which I believe you have.
I do indeed have a Switch.
The Nintendo Swoosh. Which one of these is this one? Okay. Ironoki is not surprised that I am playing Little Nightmares 2. And yeah, no, it is somewhat predictable of me. Mm-hmm. But yes, I am enjoying it. Long story short, they are, how to describe them? They are largely puzzle games. I guess you could describe them as puzzle platformers. Mm-hmm. You are a small child in a very dangerous world that is out to get you. I will now cease being a hyena. So that you may see my handsome face. Yeah, kind of like Limbo, but I would say surprisingly less bleak than Limbo, because not many things are much more bleak than Limbo.
I'm very proud of you for calling your own face handsome, Alan. It is indeed that.
It's a work in progress. My wife is good for my confidence.
Speaking of that, I must remove the skeleton as well.
All right. The bones must be removed.
It requires many bones to maintain that form.
Many face bones.
There also should be a new community Madoodle, community goal that you can donate to, and once we hit that goal, I will donate a free subscription to a random audience member.
Nice. I dig it.
Bottled Sea blows kisses at you.
Oh.
Ironoki says, I feel satisfied with my purchase. I'm glad. Let's see. This is Glimpse of the Skeleton. If Yomi, my favorite character, can turn into a dragon and has certain dragon movies, plus Glimpse of the Dragon, which lets him use dragon moves without fully transforming, this is Glimpse of a Skeleton. Okay, that makes sense. Clip Studio is great, but there's some things I haven't been able to find an alternative to in it. Yeah, there's switching between art programs can be frustrating from time to time, because it's a lot of times they all do around the same things, but there's some stuff that's just a lot harder to do.
Yeah.
Oh, Jonah Bird, have a good lurk. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome aboard.
Puddle 2 says, man, you should get some AC in that skeleton mask if it's that bad. It's not about the AC. The mask actually pinches my nose and presses into my forehead.
So really we need contouring.
Yeah.
We need to make like a liner for the mask.
That's definitely something I've been thinking about. I also should probably get a better strap for the back. I mean, this was I have never, ever done any cosplaying, ever. This is the first sort of costume thing I have done for myself.
No, you know who has.
Yeah.
C and I.
I know. I could definitely use some help in making some adjustments to make this a more viable long-term wear, because I would love to do readings and stuff in this, and I can see pretty well through it. It's just it's just so uncomfortable. And I have some ideas on how to do it, just currently not the funds or spoons.
Legit.
Or expertise, really, to do it right.
Fair.
Also, unfortunately, the crystal tier on it broke after last time I wore it, which is a shame. I have the materials to fix that again. It's just a matter of spoons.
Of spoons. There we go. So I guess I should probably say words about this as I'm drawing it. So yes, my fan stand, Jojo-sonas to possibly maybe not be completed today, we'll see, is based off of one of my favorite bands, and a song of theirs. If you could not tell from the text on one of my ref images, I happen to appreciate a local industrial duo called Rabbit Junk. They're a husband and wife team. They are very talented if you like your music even a little bit screamy.
And they have a song called Shadow Horizon, which this stand would be named for. The stand would also be known as Shadow Horizon. Its power being inspired by a specific lyric that comes up during the chorus of that song. That lyric being, they put a hit on the future, so the future hit back. So, describing Shadow Horizon's stand power. Very much a combat stand, in contrast to Meet Your Bride. The difference there being that Iron can vouch for Rabbit Junk. But yes, so if it hits you, you do not necessarily feel it right away. You suffer the damage and the impact of the blow at an unspecified future time, which the stand user has zero control over. It could be a few seconds from then. It could be upwards of a year from then.
Whenever you deserve it most, really.
Yeah, basically. So, you know, the fight could be long over and you're just minding your business and then suddenly, BAM! And you're like, what happened? And then you remember, oh, right, that fight with that weird stand I got into.
Let's see. So now I'm just thinking about, like, what's a fighting scenario involving both of our stands? That would be fun.
Oh, yes, please. Spin me a tale, O Weaver.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think I'm skilled enough a writer to really nail the... I'm just being real here.
Make a comic, sir.
I make a comic, but this is a particular aspect of writing that I don't think I have, like, I haven't put the practice in.
Okay, fair.
I mean, like, Jojo was around for years and years before he got good at the encounters. Years and years and years and years.
So you're saying early JoJo is a little rough.
Oh, early JoJo is very rough. That's why I'm like, it doesn't really get good till, like, part 4, part 5. But, like I said, part 5 is masterful, and I find it worth the journey. And while it might not be good in the beginning, it is certainly fascinating.
Actually, I just found out something I want to do with it more.
It's a really good case study in, like, creator growth.
Nice.
Yeah. I wasn't being down on myself when I said that. I just, like...
Okay. I was worried that you might be.
No.
Wanted to nip that in the bud.
Yeah, legitimately just not a skill I have developed. But I'm trying to think about it anyways, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see, so my stand, Meet Your Bride, can turn into, well, like, I think about, I don't know if any of you have played Baldur's Gate or seen anything from it, but when you, like, create your character, there's also a second thing you do where it's, like, create what you're attracted to, essentially. And so Meet Your Bride is able to sort of read your mind and turn into whatever that would be.
Could run distraction.
Well,
so that Shadow Horizon can run up and get a hit.
I'm assuming, so another thing with stands is they have different ranges, and usually the stronger ones that have punchy ability are pretty small, like they can go like 5 feet away. Mine would probably have a bit of a longer distance.
Yeah, no, Shadow Horizon is very much a melee range stand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of going with, like, what I know about stand design and just kind of making something up based around that.
Mm-hmm.
Incorporating some elements of both their old and current logos.
Makes sense.
Yep. I really like that big chompy mouth on the old logo, so I'm kind of making it into a sort of mouth rib cage here.
Mm-hmm. Lava Beast says, my stand is Shibari the stand. Support stand. Binding.
That's not a song. You're valid, though.
Indeed. Yeah, so definitely some kind of, like, I lure the enemy in for you to punch them.
Wrong flavor of ice cream? Punch it. Was it you who suggested that my wife and I's combined stand would be White Wedding?
I don't know if I suggested that, but I know the conversation came up at the wedding. In fact, I feel like you said it.
I may have.
Lava Beast says, that's not its name. I know how stands work. What would your stands? Oh, you already mentioned that. I think maybe on the Discord. Shit. Bad Romance. Right.
Bad
right.
Romance. Yes.
That's great.
Caught in a bad romance. Whoa, 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 oh, whoa, 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 oh.
My shoes are very squeaky today.
Ra ra, Roma, Roma ma, Gaga, ooh la la.
Man, my friend Cassie would probably love that. She's a big Gaga fan.
I like how I do, for the record, I do genuinely like that song, but I like to make fun of how the chorus becomes so genuinely distressed over the course of the song that it degenerates into almost nonsense. At the end, by the last time repetition, it might as well be Washuba Romans.
I'm not a particular. I don't really enjoy pop, and I would consider Gaga pop. Is that accurate?
Oh, she is extremely pop.
Okay, yeah. I don't really go for pop.
She was more or less the definitive sound of late 2000s pop.
That's okay. My assumptions were correct.
Yes.
Um,
She was a trendsetter.
But I have definitely met a lot of like hardcore Gaga fans, and like so I respect that.
I don't describe myself as hardcore, but I respect her. I like myself some pop, and I like the influence she left on the scene.
Mm-hmm. And I did at one point, one of my favorite local folk musicians paired up with someone else and did immediately after it came out, they did a folk cover of Perfect Illusion a couple of years ago. That was really good.
Not familiar with that song.
I think it's one of it was new 2 or 3 years ago.
Gotcha. I used to be with it. Then they changed what it was. It will happen to you.
Old man shakes fist at cloud.
Wore an onion on my belt, as was the style of the time. Yeah, no, this is looking like a thing.
I would also like to point out a new quality of our streams, once again, especially for newer people who popped in, is that if you subscribe, there is now a loud scream. If you host, a voice will shout, "Make them close their eyes!" Just in case anyone's interested in that sort of thing. I am definitely going to start trying to push, maybe not push isn't the right word. I want more people to subscribe so that we can unlock more emotes, because everyone's like, Kyle, make more emotes. I'm like, I will when we unlock them, when I can actually put them in there, because I've already made 3 emotes, and they only let me have 3. So, yeah. You know what to do.
You know what to do. It's not too dated to put an Outcast reference in there. And lo, the Kyle shall be spread until his influence covers the earth.
Not only that, but selfishly, I want to hit the minimum payout so I can get the money people have already donated via subscribing. I'm almost there.
Nice.
Spread the Kyle.
Spread the Kyle.
Which reminds me, I need to start posting more VODs to YouTube. I probably will be doing that with this. Man, I have found over the past couple weeks that I am actually not a big fan of video editing.
Fair. Maybe you should hire a video editor.
I would love to. That would require having enough money to support me and also pay a video editor.
That is true.
It is definitely on the list of things I would like, but I need to hit my own personal goal before I can start paying other people, unfortunately.
That sounds like realistic and good planning.
Yeah. At any rate, turning like stream videos into like shorter videos rather than just throwing them up unbroken on YouTube, it might be better for me to just throw up the unbroken streams.
Might be. Let's see. I feel like it needs more of that stitch motif, so I'll just kind of run them along these wing ears here.
There's so much dust in my room, I need a dust.
I am a dust.
We are not but dust in the universe.
Just dust in the wind, dude.
Oh, this is looking heckin' cool and drippy.
Thank you. Whoa, everything's yellow and whippy. And then, yeah. You know what? I'm going to throw an unexpected reference in there after I get rid of the reference images that I don't super need anymore.
I did get a really cool idea for an art video I'm probably going to try and put out there in the next couple of weeks. And that is going over the... Well, on my Discord, on the Dancing Skeletons Discord, I was talking about how when I release a chapter... When I'm making a chapter above this light, I tend to end up with two covers, one at the beginning of the chapter and one at the end of the chapter. And I kind of want to analyze those covers and sort of talk about why it was a good idea for me to do this and what I learned from each art piece and how they, like, the first versions informed the second versions and whatnot.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
I think it's something I could talk about at length, and it might actually be something interesting.
I would concur. Mm-hmm. I would see this. I would come to your TED Talk.
On that note, I just finished up my pre-Chapter 4 cover for Chapter 4.
Fancy that.
I'm still making some decisions on the final color palette, but I'm really proud of the art piece itself.
The art piece itself is looking rad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be proud.
Should probably see if I can throw it up on the chat, maybe.
Yeah. Make sure they can see it for themselves. I've forgotten how to fists. No, wait, I'm almost there. I'll get there. I just gotta practice more.
Let's see, can I throw up that drawing? I do not think Twitch chat lets me just embed photos.
Well, we should reprogram Twitch chat.
We should make Twitch chat better.
This was all a lead-in to our true project, Twitch Fixes Twitch. It's like Twitch plays Pokemon, but it'll affect an entire website.
Arnoki says, sigh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just with all of your time, Inoki, I'd like you to reprogram all of Twitch. I know it's a lot of work, but I know you're up to the task, buddy. And he says, I won't, but okay.
That sounds fake, but okay. You know what? Actually, no. I'm not liking these, like, big cartoon Rayman hands. I need something more distinct. What would be not nice to get punched by? Actually, no. Wait. I've got it.
I was gonna throw some suggestions, but it sounds like you got it.
I have it!
I'm curious.
You will laugh, and that is the idea. Let's see. Gonna redo that bit of texture in there.
You can just picture this thing looming above you, and you just see the silhouette of the rabbit ears and like the devil horns of the ears.
The single eye just kind of.
All right, what is your stand's punch thing? Punch cry.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, because everyone has their own sort of order, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Some of them double up, but pretty much. It's usually 2 syllables.
Yeah.
Not always.
Can it be any 2 syllables?
Sometimes it's not even 2 syllables. Pretty sure Spice Girl just says wannabe.
Wannabe. Now I am going to break an anatomical rule here. It is well known. Spicy lady.
Yeah, I forgot. Spicy lady. Can't have those copyrights happen.
Ah, yes, that's why Cars is spelled with a K.
AC/DC.
AC/DC is spelled phonetically, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And
No.
Wamu.
Like I said, mine doesn't particularly punch, but if it did, what would it say?
Bones.
Bonzu, 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 bonzu!
Yeah, what would this one say? Now, yes, it is known that rabbits do not have toe beans, but
They have toe beans when you're drawing it.
they do. This one does. Because, yes, no, big little soft rabbit bops.
Mm-hmm.
To just, instead of punch, just kind of like,
And just...
yep. And so, to lull you into a false sense of security. So, like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then an unspecified amount of time later, it's like you got decked. Alright, well, that's a stand. I suppose I should draw a Joj.
You should draw a Joj.
Alright, let me find where the cursor is and then sort out what I'm going to do with this. Where are you at, Cursor-chan? There you are.
I have been enjoying the recent uptick in people referring to inanimate objects with Japanese signifiers. I was watching a breakdown of isekai anime, and it's like, and once again, our protagonist meets our favorite isekai character, Chuck-kun.
Never forget Cherub anime. Actually, you know what? No, I'll just keep it that size.
Which reminds me, while getting work done, I Gesundheit.
Thank you.
I have been delving into the occasional isekai. Specifically, I chewed through Rising of a Shield Hero and most of ReZero. Rising of a Shield Hero, interesting concept, little triggery for me in the beginning, got better, but overall it was just kind of junk food. ReZero is actually kind of solid.
I don't have a strategy.
Big old Joj face.
I don't have a strategy at all. You can't. Don't. No, you got nothing on me. Alright. So in order to expedite this process, I may be employing some cheat methods. Maybe. We'll see.
So, ReZero's shtick. Well, if you're not aware of what an isekai is, audience, it's
Spy Kids 3D.
pretty much Spy Kids 3D. Now, the basic concept is your protagonist is usually a very boring person from our world, and they get sucked into magic fantasy world, usually with video game tropes.
Alice in Wonderland.
Pretty much. Alice in Wonderland is an early classical isekai, actually.
You heard it here first, folks. The phrase Alice in Wonderland is an early classical isekai. You don't get this kind of content on other streams.
Alice in Wonderland is an isekai, fuck you, fight me. ReZero's shtick or flavoring is main character boy does not actually have any particular powers or talents in the magic world, except for the fact that when he dies, he basically goes back to a save point.
So Undertale.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of Undertale. Except he can't choose where the save point is.
Gotcha.
And he tends to die horribly.
I don't know if it's necessary for an isekai to have video game references, but it is very much a staple of the genre.
Yeah, it stands for in another world.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe that's what it means anyways.
Anyway, now that I've definitely drawn this very JoJo-y face all by myself.
Yeah, K Penguin points out that it seems like the ones I see are always, wow, just like my MMO.
This is like one of my Japanese animes.
Well, ReZero doesn't actually, like, the main character goes and says that, but then quickly realizes that that is not the case. And even the save point isn't really a video game reference. I just use that for colloquial, ease of communication, so to speak. I don't know if, K-Penguin, have you seen ReZero? Because I think you would like it, and I would enjoy talking to you about it. I don't like the protagonist because he's a dork.
Aw, but protagonist Chan.
I'm sure many of you have at least seen some of the waifus from it. Do you know the maid girl with the blue hair?
Are you asking me or the chat?
Both.
No.
Well, there's a maid girl with blue hair who was like super duper.
I mean,
like, all over.
I have seen many anime maid girls with blue hair, but I don't know if it's that specific one.
Probably is. Zero. Please don't give me porn. Please don't give me porn. Please don't give me
You're
porn.
gonna get it.
Hey, I didn't. That's new and fun.
Whoops. Moved it without the face. That's horrifying.
Those are my favorite moments in making art. Also, when you have the pupils, and if you're ever feeling bad, this is a tip for everyone. If you're ever feeling bad when you're drawing, take one of the irises and just move it off to the side. It's fun.
Good times.
This maid girl.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Around.
That maid girl.
That maid girl.
To be fair, she's actually a really cool character. I like her.
Okay, that's good to know. So,
Actually, I like all of the characters so far except for the main character, who I don't hate, but he's easily the least interesting of the cast. Well, no, he gets annoying to me. He gets annoying to me personally. But he does have good development, and all the other characters are good, and the plot's good, so, you know. I recommend it is what I'm saying.
I see. Let's see. How to JoJo's this Jopose. Well, first I need to move Shadow Horizon over a little bit more.
K-Penguin says that she has not seen or read about ReZero, but has seen art of the characters, which is kind of what I assumed. Ren, the blue-haired maid girl I was talking about, seriously was everywhere for a while. I didn't even know she was from this until I realized she was from this. But yeah, I actually quite enjoy it. Kimberman says, there was another anime that I almost got into with a similar name and concept, but it went way another direction. I had to confirm it wasn't related. Yeah, there's a few whatever animes that aren't connected at all, as far as I'm aware. It's kind of like that. That's one of those, a lot of anime these days comes from light novels, which is like, I don't know, Japanese short fiction, essentially. A lot of them follow the same trips and whatnot. It sort of seems to me like, as someone who is very forward to the culture, kind of seems like Ashcan literature. And,
yeah.
And
seems like a good comparison.
Yeah. Which, I mean, whatever. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. And I think, I mean, again, I think ReZero is actually a really good story. So,
Riri.
Another one of the naming tropes I like is that it's just like a paragraph of text. I know, man, a YouTuber I was watching who I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but they did their own joke light novel. I think it was something like, I have been summoned into another world and now I must court the buxom goddess who summoned me here.
That does sound like some of the titles I have heard.
Yeah.
Then I realized, wait, it's a JoJo design. I need to make it JoJo-y. Hence, the collar is now bat wings. I really am just making this up as I go, folks.
That's legit. I do like the idea that you have bat accessories everywhere.
Oh, yes. Oops. Yeah.
One complaint I have about ReZero is like it follows the trope that the main character kind of falls in love with the first girl he sees, right? But I understand him having a devotion to her as a person, but I don't get the romantic feelings, and I personally romantically ship him with other characters.
Gotcha.
Which
So
is such a me complaint.
you recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid decision, you've elected to ignore it.
Pretty much. Also, like, I don't want to give spoilers to the chat, because I actually do recommend this, but, like, he doesn't actually know much about the main girl. He has, like, witnessed a lot of her actions, which prove that she is a really, actually nice and intelligent, like, legitimate person that he can trust, and she sort of has a position of power, so yeah, I would absolutely, like, follow her as a like, subordinate, but, like, man, I'm not sure I know enough about her past to really trust her as a romantic partner.
Yeah, that's kind of the caveat in it for a lot of those, which is like, I immediately like you, and it's like, maybe learn about them more.
Yep.
Like, you know that old Backstreet Boys song, As Long As You Love Me? It's kind of like that. It's like, really? You don't care who I am, where I've been, what I've done? You might want to, there's no shame in qualifications, Backstreet Boys. Like, it's okay to have standards.
There's also the, there's kind of the thing he has with everyone that's kind of a problem in that, since he has the whole, when he dies, goes back to save point thing. He has kind of a Groundhog Day scenario going on with everyone, where he knows more about everyone else than they know about than they know that he knows about them. But still, I feel like he just never like properly asks vital questions to understand this girl he likes.
Yeah, it's kind of crucial. You gotta understand. You gotta ask questions about girls you like.
Mm-hmm. And if he didn't like know that about like some of the other girls, then I might not have that much of a complaint about it, because that could just be who he is. But nah, he knows like some of the other girls better. Like, I don't know. I think the blue-haired maid girl is better. So fuck you, fight me. K-Penguin says, on one hand, the long anime titles annoy me, but on the other hand, they can sometimes help me reject a series faster. Legit. There's one that's like, do you love your mom and her 2-hit multi-target attacks? And I'm like, well, that's going to get predictably incesty. We'll just going to pass on that one.
I mean, at least they warned you ahead of time.
That is true. Lobby says, the newer isekai names get more and more absurd to the point where I'm just like, how is that a published title name? Lately, I've been crushing on a newer anime called Jujutsu Kaisen. It has such a quality anime adaptation. It has shades of Bleach and Hunter x Hunter, and I'm loving it. Ooh, give me a synopsis, Lava Bees. I'd be interested. I am chewing through tons of anime right now, if you can. I got through Shield Hero in like a day and a half, not even kidding. I was in my video editing dungeon and like I did like 8 episodes of I Can Fell and then watched anime, and that was it. That was a day. And I'm almost done with 2 seasons of ReZero. So I'm going to need more anime. Bonus points if it's on Verve, because I actually can't access Netflix right now because of
On Verve! Wallet, 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 wallet.
Anime.
So if Little Caesars was a JoJo, would their punch be pizza, 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 pizza?
Why did you even feel the need to ask? Of course it is. I also kind of want to go on a Gundam marathon.
Ooh.
I would love to see G Gundam.
Yes,
with
please. Yeah.
Is G Gundam where the I'm a genius, oh no meme comes from? Because I think it is.
It might be, actually. If nothing else, it definitely does have some very solid auras in it.
Oh, you got the nice action lines in there.
Yep. Yes, I do. Let's see. Also, let's see. Ah, there it is. Okay, let me add in a few of my
Canvas is
own.
still up. You can probably just copy it from my canvas.
Oh, okay.
The makeshift one I did because
Yep.
the copy pastes worked.
So they did. In fact,
Occurs to me, with my hat and hair, I look like a descendant of REO Speedwagon, and I'm kind of okay with this.
it's canon now. You are in fact a descendant of whoopsies. Cancel.
Even Speedwagon is afraid.
There we go. Haha. Alright.
I'm sorry, I said REO Speedwagon. That's the band name. I meant Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
Haha. Speedweed.
Speedweed.
As the memes call him. Executive producer Speedweed.
Punch me now or punch me later. Oh, wow. My brain just went into a fucking Les Mis rewrite.
Okay, well, you know what? I've got just enough time that I can attempt to add a little splash of color.
Punch me now or punch me later.
Either way, I am
For all
potato.
I care. Something. They will answer to Javert.
Did you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about Arm Joe?
I don't think so.
Okay. Arm Joe is a Japanese exclusive fighting game based on Les Mis.
Oh boy. Oh, maybe you told me.
There is a
about it.
fighting game based on Les Mis.
Oh wow. Lava Bee is explaining the anime they were talking about. It's a shonen, but definitely shonen dark, like close to a seinen, which is a mature anime. A lot less power of friendship and more like curses, manifest negative emotions, yada yada. They're kind of like evil spirits, so the juju part in the name is very accurate. The only way to fight curses is with curses. So juju, jutsu, sorcerers with various types of cursed energy, whether it be bloodline, cursed objects, etc., have to exercise them. Interesting. Am I allowed to be Del Asol? It sounds like asshole. I don't like that spelling of De La Soul.
Rabbit Junk tends to incorporate a lot of neon pink and blue in their album artworks.
Interesting.
So I will color Shadow Horizon appropriately.
Arnoki says, I'm white as fuck, but I want to be in a hip-hop group. Legit. I mean,
There was a pop group composed of all white dudes called the Young Black Teenagers.
of course there fucking was.
You can be Beastie Boy. Yeah. Oh, what if Ironoki had multiple stands and they were collectively known as the Beastie Boys?
That's a thing. That's a thing.
That's a great idea.
The Sex Pistols are 6 sapient bullets, so, little bullet gremlins that all have their own unique personalities. Love Bees continuing about the anime. The main character accidentally consumes one of the 20 mummified fingers of one of the most cursed entities ever to exist, and is somehow able to become a vessel for its power rather than die like he should. The sorcerers offer him a proposal. You fucked up. Die now, or consume all 20 fingers. Do good for the world, and die later.
Eat the fingers.
Eat the fingers.
Eat the fingers.
It's kind of like it just reminded of Bloodborne. Eldritch umbilical cord. I just received an item called an Eldritch umbilical cord. I'm gonna eat it. I don't actually remember what it was called, but you know what I'm talking about. The umbilical cords. Arnoki says, my stand would have to be Paul Revere.
Haha, yes. Well, here's a little story I got to tell about bad brothers you know so well.
And to those of you who don't know, I do love when they, when it comes to the English dub and sub, when they have to change the stand names to avoid copyright shenanigans. And sometimes it's delightful. For example, the stand Bad Company, which is a bunch of like sapient plastic army men.
Nice.
Gets turned into Worse Company. It's even better when like the sub says something, but you very clearly see something else or hear something else. My or would be hippity 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 hop.
Nice. I dig it.
Ironoki is bees tea boys.
Yes.
Yeah, that's legit.
You deserve so many friends that let you get away with even more crimes.
Yeah. Ironoki says, I don't deserve friends who let me get away with this shit. And, oh yeah, you absolutely do get away with this shit. In fact, I hadn't even considered what a JoJo name for myself would
Commit
be.
more crimes. Got cups on my ears.
Cups on my ears. Playing games on my phone.
What's up, man? Got cups on my ears. Let's go steal things from my employer who trusted me.
The rules okay? We were referencing Night in the Woods to
Indeed, yes. One of these days, just to do a playthrough of that where I just try to voice act it.
I think you could do a mean Greg.
I could probably do it okay, Greg. What would I do for Greg? Probably a slightly higher pitch voice than I normally have. But not much. Okay, I'll bring you.
Yeah, Love Beast says...
Maybe...
Love Beast says, seriously, Kyle, check out Jujutsu Kaisen. It has subtle changes to the opening video, the final of which is oof and made me stand up and yell no at the TV. You're selling it very well. I probably will check it out. Bring me. That sounds like a fun team up.
I concur. Yeah, hey, maybe Ironoki could be Greg. Greg.
It's funny because normally, well, it's happened less and less the older I've gotten, but I've always tended to impression myself on protagonists of games and anime and the like. And Night in the Woods is definitely one of the ones where that didn't super happen, and instead I saw May as my goblin roommate.
Yeah, May does have a lot of goblin roommate energy.
Yep.
Except for the bit with the baseball bat. It's a little less her.
I could see it.
I could see it, but boy.
She just needs a little more energy.
Fair. No energy to destroy, only to create.
Meanwhile, I kind of I saw the more eccentric side of myself in Greg and Angus as a Loopy Fritz.
Yeah, I had a conversation about this with Ironoki actually, where Ironoki had me pegged as a Greg, and I was like, I'm really more of an Angus with Greg's aesthetics.
Well, I do see where Ironoki assumed a Greg.
Oh yes. I mean, I can arm waggle with the best of them.
Ironoki says, May is not a protagonist, more of a catalyst for events that were already in motion. That's legit.
It's legit. Germ is best bird.
And I still, every once in a while, pull up the, one of the Ghost Dream songs, where it has the progression of instruments as you find them.
Yeah.
The soundtrack in that game is really cool.
It is. I have a really good fan cover of Die Anywhere Else.
Oh, yeah. Come on, baby, let's die anywhere else. I felt that song hard.
Yeah, did I give you some Indiana feels?
Well, like, one thing I did identify with May about is, like, when I was playing through it, it definitely, like, it felt like a glimpse into another world where I had sort of given up on Seattle and moved back home with my parents. Like, what I would be in that situation.
Gotcha.
And that was, like, it was not a flattering way to look at myself. Which, I mean,
Legit.
isn't a flattering person to be.
No, she is not intended to be.
Yeah. But yeah, there were some emotions I felt about that. That I don't necessarily think were intended by game design, because that is a very emotional game. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I definitely think I pulled a little bit out of May that maybe was more from me than the character, which is I always find it good when art can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, people always talk about the self-insert protagonist that is supposed to be like an empty shell for you to impress onto, but
Yeah.
like, May is a character on her own, but she still has enough room for you to fill in the blanks.
Oh yeah, no, there was actually a moment with her where I was like, oh, I have been there, and it is not a fun place in life to be. When she's, just finished getting into, like, an argument with her parents about how they treat her like a kid, and then goes try and hang out with the cool teens in the sewers, and they're like, ew, an adult.
There's also a bit near the crux of Bee's story.
Bees, yeah.
Or she has this metaphor of, like, she has, like, a place she wants to go, but the faster she tries to go to it, the further away it gets. And
Yeah.
that is a place I have been.
Ooh.
And I have been very firmly there. And I was there probably when I played through it, and that hit me hard.
Yeah. Heck, I've even had a point in my life that's thankfully long gone that really speaks to her whole proximity speech. You ever wonder if you're friends with the friends you're friends with just because you actually have interests, or just because you exist close to each other?
Best available friends.
Yeah.
Night in the Woods told a real story from people who have definitely gone through the garbage and wrote about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't really feel the need to fully go into right now, but one of the things I did like about Rising of a Shield Hero, the other isekai I watched, it very much read to me as the writer being a decent guy going through some shit and working it out through the writing, and all of the like faults that doing that sort of thing has. Because don't get me wrong, I do that too a lot. Like OTL started off as that, but became its own thing, and this just Shield Hero just reeked to me of something that never stopped being that.
Yeah.
And I think there is an interesting case study there that I'd love to talk about in depth more. But we are actually almost at time for the stream.
Yeah, let me just wrap up a few bits here. Ironoki says his big hit was when May went for donuts with Greg and Angus. And just like, why isn't this fun? And kind of has a breakdown that childish hijinks are over and you can't have them back. Yeah, no, legit. That scene is... woof. Also, like, that scene was really good for kind of developing Angus and Greg's relationship, because, like, just lays it out right there that they're they have their issues like anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess very mild spoiler, you do see Angus and Greg get into a fight, and it's not like super serious, but it is really the only time in that game we see those two fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about something that it's something they probably definitely should have loudly discussed with each other. So like, you can't even really say that either one of them is like wrong to be fighting the other right then. They're going through some complicated times. All right, I'm just gonna make the decision to. Well, okay, we're technically slightly over. I'm just gonna add a few little bits here.
Mm-hmm.
Going to make the bold decision to leave the vest white.
Bold.
But just kind of add some things.
Yeah, I don't know, Lava Bees, if you've played Night in the Woods, but you probably would. Aranoki literally just asked the same thing. Have you played Night in the Woods? I think you in particular would get a lot out of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always the recommending something generally and recommending something specifically for a person, and I think Lava Bees would get something particular.
Yeah, no. If nothing else, I think they would very much appreciate its sense of character building.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very good job at when you initially meet a character, it's like, oh, this character is this, but then kind of peeling back the layers and going, oh, this character is also this.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll call that good. So there we go. I don't know Jojo and Mia's name, but there is them with Shadow Horizon.
I am a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this was a fun one, guys.
It was, in fact.
Do you mind if we flip back to mine real quick as well?
Not at all, not at all.
Yeah.
So
we got
Yep.
Yep. I think we came up with some fun Jojas.
I think we did.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yes.
As always, thank you to my patrons, especially Chocolate Bliss, Saberfly, Abnerdoodle, Puddlesea, and Tia. I normally just thank my patrons, but in particular right now in my life, I'm my patrons are definitely helping me build and make a thing. If you do have the extra dollars to spend, I would super appreciate if you could throw a few to my Patreon. You get exclusive comics and stuff, and certain tiers you get thanked at every stream and blah blah. But if not, that's fine too. I'm trying to do my due diligence of reminding people about that. Again, thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone.
Yes.
And
take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for watching the Bats and Bones Art Show. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to check us out every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/knewbridge.
Indeed. I also have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/knewbridge, and you can also...
I don't, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we're working on that. Again, thank you everyone for watching, and if you have a second, subscribe, YouTube stuff.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
We're really small, and so it kind of actually does really help a lot, so thank you.
Until then, I'm Bats, he's Bones, and we're a lot of trouble.